3 sets of 12 is dead, or is it? Yo Nation, welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about reps and sets and all the kind of 3 sets of 12, and what it kind of means. And because I get this question a lot of how should I train, what's the perfect rep range, what's the perfect rep range for strength, what's the perfect rep range for hypertrophy, what's the perfect rep range for endurance. So I'm going to touch on them all slightly, but then I'm going to give my own kind of thoughts, which is probably slightly different to what most people think and what most people do. But for me, it works really well. And I've trained not just myself in strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, and then endurance sports, ultra running, triathlons, all these kind of things. And obviously MMA, jiu-jitsu, football, everything, and every different way that you can possibly train. I've trained people in a lot of these disciplines as well. So firstly, strength. A lot of people these days really want to focus on the strength element. And I did powerlifting for a long time, got really, really good at it, and then moved into strongman where I got really, really good at that, and then even competed at strongman events in the East Midlands and regional kind of level. So yeah, so primarily for strength, 1 to 5 reps is where you kind of want to be basing most of your compound lifts. Again, it's always good to do accessory lifts in slightly higher reps, just simply because performing them exercises at that low reps with such high weight, your risk of injury just goes through the roof, and the risk to reward ratio is just so out of whack. But your big compound lifts, so your bench press, your weighted pull-up, your overhead press, your squat, your deadlift, your rows, even these kind of exercises, keeping the 1 to 5 rep range if your main goal is to build strength, and then monitor that over a 12 to 15 week block. Depending on how far you go, you might only get actually to 8 weeks in an actual like 5x5 block, because you're really going to hit burnout quite quick. Your joints will feel it, or your ligaments and tendons will start feeling, and they'll start screaming at you quite a lot to give it a bit of a rest. So I'd say maybe 8 weeks and then deload and then go back to it if you want to keep building strength that way. Hypertrophy, aka muscle building, anywhere between 6 and then 30 reps. And these are like broad kind of like scales of what people do these days. Is like, if you're doing muscle building, again, 6 to 12 compounds, and then isolation, people go from 12 all the way up to 30. Again, these are just general kind of guidelines of what people do and what I've done in the past, and some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. I'll get onto that in the end. And then endurance is anything above kind of thing, maybe starting at about 15 and going all the way to like 50, even on some things. Like if you're circuiting something and you're doing 1 minute on, 1 minute off, or 1 minute cycles, you might do 50 reps, and this is good for building endurance, and it's good for building like all your mitochondria and everything like that, to give you like good like muscle bellies and muscle density and really nice cardiovascular side. My take on all of it is it does not matter what rep range you're doing for whatever your goal is. If it's strength, if it's muscle building, if it's endurance, if you do not take 3 sets of 12 and then 12 reps and not 2, or really close to 1 rep in reserve, or 2 reps in reserve if you want to be like conservative, if you do not take them that close to failure, you will not grow in any of these. You will not get as strong as you can get, jacked as you can get, or build the endurance as much as you can get. The potential will flatten out. You will dull the response if you do not take it to failure. So my big takeaway for anybody who wants to get stronger, bigger, or more endurance is you've got to go to failure. It's such a requirement. Now, there's different ways of looking at failure. And so for me, if I'm doing a compound lift, I want to be, because it's a big exercise that works multiple muscles at a time. Like let's take the dip. The dip works your triceps, your shoulders, your chest. It's like your whole upper body's involved. And it's like a deadlift. Everything's involved. So these are big compound lifts. So I want to keep these with less reps so I can lift more weight. I don't want to be doing 20 reps on a deadlift. You know, I don't want to be doing like 20 dips. I'd rather stack on some weight and keep them in that low rep range, or even if it's for muscle building, that 6 to 8. That's where I want to be kind of failing, and then going back with more weight and more weight until the block ends kind of thing, and then restarting after a deload. It's really important that the message is that it does not matter. People get so caught up on how many reps I'm going to do. So like, you're going to do a bench press. Right, well, I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, that's that set done because I've done 12. It shouldn't work that way. And in my book, I don't do it that way. So I might set it up as a general 6 to 8 for compound lifts, but I'm always going for as many as I can before I hit failure. So if I take this week, for example, on my heavy day this week, my thing was chest press machine, 6 to 8 reps, and it was at 82 kilo on the machine. My goal for that is not just to get to 8 and go 8, brilliant, wait a couple of minutes, do it again. It's to make that last rep. And then I've got to wait, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, but that's 2 minutes already. Jesus, I've got to do it again. So it's hard. It's how hard you train will give you the best results. You have to be able to push past that initial pain or that initial burn, because that's just the brain's response saying, right, we need to recruit more fibers. That doesn't mean that the set's over. It doesn't mean that you're at muscular failure at all. Really, you might, if someone had a gun to your head, you might be able to bang out another 6 or 7 reps. This is the biggest takeaway you can take, is spend some time learning what it is to be really close to failure, whether you use a spotter, whether you use machines to learn this, whether you use whatever thing whether you just think in your head, right, I'm going to go to a point where I can only just re-rack this once, otherwise I'm going to kill myself. Go to that point and then don't obviously go past that point. But until you know, because you might think, and you might be honest, you might be really honest with yourself and think, nah, that was really close. But I guarantee if you had a spotter and a gun to your head, there'd be a few more reps in there. And if not, and if that is one, then keep training that way. You will grow. You will get bigger. You will get whatever goal you want. So think of it as no rep range is dead and every rep range is dead if you don't push it to failure. Failure is, it's kind of like the buzzword at the minute. Everyone's got to go to failure. You want to be hitting failure, but it is true. You do need to go to that point to get the gains you want. So I just wanted to wrap that up because I've been asked a load of times, what rep range, is this rep range good? Is this rep range good? And in reality, every rep range is good and every rep range is bad. So stick with it. Keep getting the comments, ask some questions. I'll get back to you with all of them. I'll never miss a comment. I'll be in them. So keep working on there, nation. Let's make some gains.